Hi, my name is Jessica Ingebrigtsen, and this is my final presentation for CIT 260. It's also the third time I've done it because I keep running out of time, so going to be fast. Static class versus non-static class. Static has to have the name static in it. It can only call other static methods, and it can be used without creating an instance of itself, whereas in the other one does a non-static has to have an instance. So here we go. Live the year. This live the year is going to use a non-static function, so we have to create a instance of it by doing that. Then once we need it down here, we call it by the variable because we've had this instance of it and go to live the year. Come to live the year, we do our things. If we are calling a static function, we use the class name. So eat by rats is static, so we call the class name eaten by rats, and it opens up this static, you see the word there, opens up the static variable, or excuse me, function, and it goes through and calls other static functions to save the information. You like to use static because I could figure out maybe how much wheat has been eaten by rats without having to live the year. If you want to be able to access it outside of an object, that is preferable. Creating an object is nice because it helps you save the information. All right, moving on to arrays. An array can only hold one type of object. Here's a 3D array, it only can hold locations. An array list can hold more than one type of location. So I had these work really well with inventory items because there can be different types of inventory items. And enums are lists that are set in stone when the program is built. You can only access it through the enum list. They show up in green. There's no setters because nothing can be changed. Here are the coordinates. User can't do anything about that. They can get it to see where they're going or to make sure that it's assigned to the right location, but nothing can be changed. It allows for constants, but in a place that it can be controlled if you need to. To iterate through an array, you can use this new type of, or not new to me, type of for loop, where we passed in this inventory item array, and now I'm going to use the same type of variable inventory item. This will iterate through it, and it will put in the information I need from the items array into this. And if it's null, we skip past it. It might be null because there might not be any of that type of animal. If it's not, then we verify. We can verify through using this new kind of temp variable that we created. And then this I has been defined up here. It starts off at 0, and we'll save any type of animal to the animals array, and then increase I so that the index goes up. Next time it would save it at animals 1, and so on. And it'll keep going until there's nothing left in items, and then it will break away and return the animals variable. Exceptions are a great way to debug or to let the user know what happened, to make sure we use them when we know something might go wrong, and that way it can be caught, it can be explained, but the program won't crash. So here we're asking the user for something that can always create an error. So if it does, we'll get a message and it will say what the message is. So we'll go down here to this one that I worked on. We're trying to set people fed with the information that the user gave us. And so we call this static, which is why it's class named static function, feed the people. And it's going to go through and check. And it's going to say, hey, if the user said 0, it's going to throw this exception saying this message, you neglected to feed your people. That will get thrown back out to the catch method of this try catch block, and it will print out, hey, look at this, error reading input, you forgot to feed your people. If they don't have enough wheat, if they tried to give them all of their wheat, if they didn't do an even number because each person needs 2 wheat, all of those things will cause different errors. Every single one of these errors will get caught in this exact same feed the people exception catch and print out the right message and then move on. Character streams are popular because they can support any language. They're best for reading text, but if you are using a binary data, then you would need to use the byte streams. We started out doing byte and have switched everything over to character, which we have an example here in the reports menu where I created a new instance of a character right here, a character, path, and I named it out file. New file writer instance. It's going to give it the file path name, which we already checked to make sure it was a real name. It's going to create that file. Now, if we want to put anything in the file, we call the variable out file and then the function write, and we put what we want in there. So here's another for loop where we're going through the animals, and as long as it's not null, we're going to write the name and the quantity. Once you're done, you want to flush everything out to make sure that there's nothing stuck in that variable that's going to cause some problems, and it closes it so that you can not have any memory leaks. Okay, on to a game demonstration. We're going to play, we're going to enter our name. It says right here will be for 5 years. I'm not going to start an existing game because I don't have one saved, so we're going to go ahead and start a new game. It first prints out this annual report, no years, nobody starved. This is how much land I have, and what do I want to do? So I'll view the map, which looks like this. It's all question marks because we haven't been anywhere. So I'm going to move to row 0, column 0, and it says, hey, there's nothing going on, but 3 months have gone by because we're adding up our time here. So it lets us know 3 months have gone by. So I'm going to go to 2-1. Here's a question location. Moses asks me, how many times a year do you need to shear a sheep? I can't remember, but I could look it up. For now, I'm just going to say I think it's 1 to 2. And congratulations, I picked the right answer. So I get to continue my quest, and I've advanced by 3 months. So now if I look at the map, you'll see 2 locations that I've already been to. Let's see, if I go to, now I'll move, and I will go to 3-3. Oh, and Aaron in the forest, there's nothing to do, but 3 months have gone away. So let's try 4-3. And there's nothing to do there either. Look at the map. Let's try 2-2. Here is a resource location. So here's the king at the ruler's, oh, excuse me, a question location. It says, how long do donkeys live? And we have to try to guess. I don't remember. Let's say it's 15 to 20 years. Oh, bummer. Okay, so now I got it wrong. So I get 1 mark against me. If I get 3 questions wrong, then the game ends. Also, but while we were playing, another year went by, so we need to make sure I had a chance to take care of business before the year is over. So do I want to buy land? Let's say that I do. Say buy land. This tells me that 1 acre of land currently costs 26 wheat. That's a lot. So how many acres do I want to buy? I only want to buy 2. So here's my acres now, and here's how much wheat. Do I want to sell? Let's say, let's try selling land. It's only selling for 16 wheat. I don't want to sell any, so I'm going to say 0. It says, oops, you didn't sell any land. And then we obviously need to change that in case we get kicked out. But anyway, I didn't make any wheat because I didn't sell anything. Now it's how much I have in storage. I would definitely like to feed my people. This little message tells us how many people I have, how much it takes to feed the people, how much wheat I have, and that to feed everyone will cost 200 wheat. So I'm going to go ahead and give them all the wheat they need. Plant crops. Let's say I don't want to plant crops this year. Then I would just say Q for quit plant crops, and it's going to move on to tithings and offerings. I definitely want to pay my tithing. What percentage? I will pay 10%. So now it's going to go through to the live the year in the background, and we'll see nobody starved. 5 people moved in. Now I have this much land. I paid this much in tithing. Ooh, I had 263 bushels of wheat eaten by rats. And then, so now I have this much wheat. So now I can move on to my next year. Here I'm viewing another year. Let's move to 0-1. Then, so 3 months have gone by. Let's see, let's move to 0-2. 3 months have gone by. I'm looking for a resource location. Oh, here's a question though. From the innkeeper, how many pounds of feed does a pig eat per day? I'll say 6 to 8. Whew, congratulations, I got it right. All right, thank goodness. Let's move to 3-1. All right, here we go. Here's a resource location. At this location, I can get either a chicken or a horse. So which one do I want? Let's see, I'll put B for a horse. So it says you chose a horse. 1 has been added to your inventory. Oh, and 3 months have gone by. Maybe I want to look at a report while I'm here. Let's see what animals I have in the storehouse. This can only be printed, it looks like. All right, well, I guess we have to look up the animals.txt file if we would like to see. Let's see if I can see how many tools. Does that also take a file? Yep, that takes a file. But this one actually gets printed out onto the screen, so that's nice. So we have in our tools, which is what I entered in, we have a scythe, a hoe, a bow, and a cart. Let's see, we can also do the authors. Oops, sorry. So I entered in a D, which is not one of the selections, so it tells me invalid and brings me back. I want to go back to the reports menu and look at the authors. Here we are. That's me, Stephen, and Skylar. All right, let's view the map and move back on. Let's go. We haven't been to 3.2 yet. Nothing to do there, but 3 months have gone by, so now I'm going to live another year. I'm going to buy land. One cost 20. Oh, I'll buy 4. This time I'm going to sell 17 again. Man. I'll sell 3. Definitely want to feed the people. It needs 210 wheat. Maybe I'll only do 208. It says I fed 104 people. I don't want to plant any crops right now. Pay some tithing. Okay, so now here's my new year. I had one person starve because I didn't give those 2 bushels of wheat, so that's a bummer. I had 6 people move in, so now I have 110. This is how much land I have. Now I have 324 bushels of wheat eaten by rats, so gotta be careful. All right, let's move on. Let's see, we haven't been to 0.3. Here's a resource one. I can get a scythe, a hoe, a bow, or feed. I'm going to buy some feed. I had 1 feed added to my inventory and 3 months have gone by. And all the zeros. Oh, I haven't been to row 1 at all. And I can get some wheat. Got an extra wheat added to my thing. Let's see, I can go to 1.1. Nothing's happened, but 3 months have gone by. I can go to 1.2. Here's a question. How old are chickens before they start laying eggs? Let's see. Let's say I say 9 months. Oh, I got that wrong. I have 2 marks against me now. Don't want to lose. Let's see. 1.3. Nothing to do, but the year is over. I don't want to buy land, so I'm going to hit Q. And I don't want to sell land. Definitely want to feed the people. Now I need to do 220 wheat. So I'll give it to him this time so I don't kill anybody. I will plant crops. So it says I have 753 acres, this much wheat. It takes 10 bushels, so how much do I want to plant? Let's see. I want to plant 100 acres. Congratulations, I did it. In the background, it made sure that all the math worked. Tithings and offerings. Sure, I'm going to pay 12% this year. And here's my next year. 3 years have gone by. I still just have a total of 1 person who starved. 5 people moved in. Here's my acres. Here's what I paid in tithing. I had more entered by rats. All right, let's see. Let's move to 1.4. Nothing happened. Let's see. Let's move to 2.0. Nothing happened. 2.3. How many pounds of feed does a pig eat per day? Let's say 4 to 6. Oh, bummer. Here we go. So I lost now because I got it wrong, got 3 marks against me, and I'm fired. So that brings me back out to the new game. So I could start a new game if I wanted, or continue on, or exit altogether, I suppose. If I were to have gone through, I would get a congratulations at the end, and it would also bring me back out to this screen so that I could start a new game or restart an existing one if I had one already saved. I believe I've answered all of the questions and showed the game. I had a really good time this year. Definitely could have done a lot more with the program and wish I had the time to do it. But I do feel like I learned a lot and had a great team, and looking forward to next semester too. Thanks so much.